Okay, perfect. All right, so for if some reason you can't hearing me or something, just let me know in the chat and we'll figure it out. But usually Zoom is pretty good. All right, so I want to thank everybody for taking a little time out of their Sunday night to be here. I really appreciate it. We only do this once a month, getting together as a team. I'm sure down the road we'll be big enough. We'll be doing this weekly, but it's just so nice to get together at least once a month and, share some knowledge and just get together and see actual faces instead of just seeing each other in the groups. So I want to first give a big congratulations out to you guys. You guys see how many new coaches are joining our team each week, and that is just incredible. We're sharing this opportunity that's changed our life with other people, and be damn proud of yourself. So I'm so proud of our whole team for growing and bringing these new people into our family. We've had coaches that have had amazing accomplishments in their rank, in their incomes, in their success clubs. So that's just absolutely unbelievable. We've had new Emerald coaches, new Diamond coaches, we've had Star Diamond coaches. So that's pretty friggin' exciting for a very young and new team. We've had some awesome prizes. You'll find out on Monday if you were on a Team Cup team. You're going to start finding out what prizes you're going to get, and they're going to be shipping them out. And we've even had a couple coaches in Carl's Top 100 getting the salad choppers, Top 100 Success Club points. So that's unreal out of 200,000+ coaches. So our team is on fire, I must say. We're sitting at like 20-ish in the whole company, and like top, I think we're like second in Canada. So we are doing pretty awesome. So today I am going to talk briefly about a topic, and then we have a on fire coach, Hillary Roz, that's going to take over for the second half of the call. And if you haven't been following her journey, she has an incredible physical transformation, but her transformation within her business just blows my mind. So she's going to talk about her road to becoming a Diamond coach and her approach to challengers and coaches, because she's grown a Diamond team like that, it's just, I'm actually have my notepad ready because I would like to take notes. So she will be taking over the second half. So I just wanted to flip my screen here real quick and just remind everybody, this is our team. This is a big team page. It's in my personal page as well. But just a reminder that always at the top of the group are the calendars. So these are always pinned at the top. And I always have the info and the links to everything in the calendar here, which reminds me I should update some of those. But if you're ever wondering, we have a sneak peek starting, this is our team call. So if you're ever wondering when stuff's going on, just feel free to check into here. I know some of the leaders on our team are starting to make their own calendars for their own team, which is awesome. That's basically the whole thing of being a coach, right? I guide you, you can join me as long as you want, and then you can break off and do your own thing with your team. So let's dive in. I'm just going to pull up, I made a quick little graphics that I can follow. So I'm going to cover my topic, and then I'm going to hand it right over to Hillary to cover hers. So I wanted to split up this call basically into two sections. Mine is not going to be hard, concrete, step-by-step information, whereas Hillary's may be. Mine is, this is about training your muscle mindset. And this might be a concept that is a little bit in the air and, hard to grasp at first. But I promise you that once this concept is grasped, it's what's going to really set you apart in your business. So training your muscle mindset, this is what is going to set you apart. So I've got 5 kind of topics that I want to basically touch on. So the first one, what sets the top successful coaches apart? What sets those coaches in top 10 or top 20 or top 100 coaches? What sets them apart from the 200,000 other coaches? The biggest lesson I have learned, and I think the biggest lesson that has allowed me success is focusing on what I can control and what is going to bring me success in my business. So for example, you know, I can't um, I can't stress or waste energy on certain things in this business that I can't control, because that energy is very valuable, and I need to make sure I am putting it into areas that I can control that will grow my business. That's why I always say focus on the basics, focus on your power hour. Don't worry about this extra crazy fancy blog or this extra fancy anything, right? Because that's necessarily not going to grow your business. You can't control if your challenger gets sent the wrong challenge pack. That is out of your control. What is in your control is being the best customer service for your challenger and helping them get that all straightened out. It's a waste of energy to start complaining or anything like that. So it's really making sure your focus is on what you can control. Don't even for 2 seconds give up that valuable energy you have onto things that are totally out of your control anyways, right? Also, what sets top coaches apart? Giving up for them is not an option. Okay, lots of coaches, I've seen it happen multiple times. They become a coach, it doesn't work for them. Oh, this is the last thing they signed up to do, so it'd be the quickest thing to get rid of. Oh, this isn't working for me. I'll get rid of it. I need more time in my day, so this is the last thing I signed up for, so I'll just get rid of that. And it's really too bad, because coaching could actually be the best thing that ever happened to them, not the thing that's hampering them, right? So I read in a book one time, it was a book about, failing forward and whatnot, and it said, if you're thinking about quitting on something, you have to be able to go 3 days without thinking about it. So if you just take a minute right now and think to yourself, okay, could I go 3 full days without thinking about Beachbody and be okay with it? And I literally ask myself that when I'm going through maybe, a tougher time, and I think, oh my God, I can't even go 3 minutes without thinking about this. So how could I quit? So I want you to always think about that in your head. If you can go 3 days without thinking about it, okay, maybe this isn't for you. But if you can't even go 3 days, 1 day, then this is something that you're passionate about, right? If you're thinking about it, this is something you're passionate about and you should keep in your life because it's benefiting you. So quitting is not an option for top coaches. Also, they have this mental strength, this mental muscle that I'm talking about. This business is hard and it takes a lot of belief and patience. And this mindset is exactly what you need to get through it. And I'm going to go into that here too. So number 2, I am a know-it-all. All right. So we all know there's tons and tons and tons of information about coaching out there. I mean, you have your online office, you have YouTube, you have our trainings, you have literally, like, my gosh, there's so many things out there. And literally you could know it all if you wanted to. But that is not guaranteed to bring you success. No matter how much you know, if you don't present it in the right way, in the right mindset, you're not going to be successful anyways. People don't care about the scripts. They don't care about how much you know. What they do care about is your belief in them, right? They can get these products without coaches. They can get these products, they can illegally download them easily. Like, I've done it before. That's not, they don't care if they can get meal plans online. You can know all the information, but you need to present it in the right way, in the positive way. You need to show them that they care. So I wouldn't get so caught up in knowing everything. I would get caught up in, okay, what do I need to know that will, oh, sorry, I see. Oh, sorry, a thing just popped up on my thing. What do they need to know that will allow them to be successful? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there when that popped up. Okay, so basically, don't worry about knowing it all. That's sometimes what new coaches get caught up in, but you really don't need to know it all. You just need to be able to present it in a genuine way. So, which leads me into, this is a mental business based on relationships. It's not about knowing it all. It's about being invested in relationships. So we all know we message people all the time, right? And I'm very strategic in my messaging. Everybody's different. You may be different, which is totally fine. If you haven't noticed, if you've ever messaged me, I always do my messages in the morning. Sometimes I'll check in for a second time in the evening if it's like urgent or whatever, but it's usually always in the morning, always after I've done my 15 minutes of reading where I'm really relaxed and drinking my coffee or whatever, because I'm in a really relaxed, good mood where I can respond to people in the way I want to respond to them. People can, I know we're only typing, sometimes I leave voice messages now, but people can read your energy. If you're, if you're in a bad mood that day, or you're rushed and you're responding to people, that's not giving them a good sense of what your relationship's like. But if you're calm and you're genuine and you're really interested in them, that makes them feel a lot more, willing to try what you're having to offer. That's, again, going back to, they don't care about the hard facts. They care about you being interested in them. So sometimes you might not know how you're responding, but take a minute to make sure your mental mindset, your head is in the right place when you're responding to people, because those relationships are so important. If you're struggling with connecting with people and with them following through and stuff like that, you might want to look at how your conversations are going. Look if you're doing most of the talking or if they are. If you're doing most of the talking, something might not quite be right? They don't care what you know. They want to express how they're feeling. How can you help them? So be more interested than interesting. Be interested in them. Be genuinely interested in helping them. And that's mental. You can't be rushed. You need to be patient with them. And you need to really care about what they're saying. Because let's face it, this is a relationship business. And that's the best kind of business, right? You're not just doing endless computer work. You're really working with people and touching their lives. So it's the relationship business is what we're in. And I think it's the best kind of business out there, really. All right, number 4, a personal and mental challenge. All right, we are always trying to improve ourselves. We're always trying to help improve others. We're dealing with very serious issues. Lots of people we talk to, self-esteem, self-confidence, health issues, overweight, all of that stuff is very touchy subjects, and it's very serious. We're not just selling mascara or whatever, right? We're selling health. We're basically selling people's lives. We're not selling, I guess. We're helping people get their lives back. So this is really serious. This is a mental challenge, and it can be a mentally exhausting business as well. So you're investing into people's lives, and that can be challenging. So this is the part where you really, really have to train that mindset muscle just like you would any other muscle. That's why taking time to yourself, refueling yourself, sleeping lots, getting your workouts in, getting good fuel in, being surrounded by positive people, reading good personal development, listening to positive things, anything, that is so, so important. And that will change your mood instantly. You'll notice I notice if I haven't done any personal development for like a week, my conversations suck with people because I'm kind of in a grumpy mood. My posts suck because I'm not really inspired by anything. And I'm just like a negative Nancy, and I'm mentally exhausted because nothing's refueling my brain. I just feel challenged, and I'm not dealing with the challenge in any ways. So this is going to be, if you're new, if you're in this, you've been in this for a bit, you know, it's a mental challenge because we are personally invested into people's lives. So make sure you are training your muscle for this hard work. You know, there's few jobs out there that can affect you mentally as much as this job. You know, doctors and nurses and often teachers, and there are many jobs that challenge you to the bone every single day, but there's a lot of jobs out there that you can easily put in your 8 hours that day and not have to think more than what time you're going to go for coffee. So sometimes when things get tough, like this job, it's easy to let it get the best of you. You know, it's easy to think, this is too hard, and this is too hard. And let's be honest, it is hard because you might have not been challenged in this way before. But I promise you, if you take that challenge, you build up that mental muscle to be able to deal with that challenge positively, you're going to change so many lives, because the people you're helping, they don't have a strong mindset. They're struggling with themselves. They need help. And if you can build up your strength strong enough to be able to be that positive light and that strength for them and teach them, that's going to be the best feeling in the world. But you have to be able to build yourself up to that point and be able to represent that strength for them. So yes, this is a fun, easy business. We get to do fun, cool things, but it's hard, and it's important for you to recharge and look after yourself. As you get deep into the business, it's easy to forget about yourself and your workouts. You're so focused on the business side of it, but just remember where it all starts. And that started with your own transformation and your first few challengers transformations. And then the business grew. So you have to always remember, you got to treat yourself good first. All right, last point. You are in control. So basically what this means, every single person on this team has the exact same resources that the #1 coach in Beachbody last year and this year have. Lindsay Matway and Melanie Mitro, top coaches, are part of the Bombshell Dynasty. I'm part of the Bombshell Dynasty. You all are part of the Bombshell Dynasty, like way up in the tree. Resources have been passed down. Literally, our training, I modified it a bit, but was developed by them. A lot of what I've built is based on what they built. So every single resource you have is based on the top coaches in the business. So what am I trying to say with that? There's really no excuses except your own, because clearly these resources are good and they work. But what might not work is your mental approach to them. How are you applying them? Are you actually using them or doing them? So what it comes down to is basically you're in control. Everything is laid out for you on a silver platter. How to do anything basically is there for you. We're not about reinventing the wheel. There's top coaches out there that share everything. You can watch what they do every day on Facebook. They often share what they do behind the scenes. So it's really up to you to take that, mold it into yourself, and apply it. It's that mental mindset that this is my business. The only person that's going to allow me to have success is me. The only person that's going to quit and going to say this isn't working is me. If I quit, I don't know, like a couple months in and said, nope, this business just does not work for me, that's all on me, because this business can work for every single person out there, because everything, all the resources is there. It's just a matter of me taking control of my own personal learning. So when it comes to this team call and me strategically seeing what faces are on this team call, those are the faces that are going to be top coaches, be successful, reach their rank goals, reach their income goals. So thank you to every single face that is on this call. I know some people had to work and there's things that come up, but you made a commitment to this call. Do you listen to the National Wake Up Call every Monday morning? Do you listen to the Bombshell Call every Monday night? Those are literally resources that are handed to you on a silver platter telling you how to be successful in this business. But you make the mental decision if you're going to take that, learn it, absorb it, and apply it the best way you can. So all of this mental muscle is in your control. So I know it's kind of an up there concept. It's not like a step-by-step, sign up your challenger, do this to sign up your coach. It's really kind of in the air and hard to describe, but literally this is my heart and soul. If somebody was to ask me, why, Morgan, do you think you are successful in this business when other people are not? And literally, I would say it's because of the way I view my day-to-day business. I don't know if you guys, maybe I've let it slip. I don't know if I've ever complained in our team page. I don't think I have, but I apologize if I'm being a hypocrite and I have complained, but I'm pretty sure I've never complained about, anything out of my control in our team page. I've never spoke badly about this business because I think it's truly wonderful. I do my personal development. I'll admit, I haven't been doing as much lately. I've been changing it more into audio than reading. I literally have not missed a single National Wake Up Call since I started. I don't usually listen to them live, but I'll listen to them on my podcast while I'm getting ready the next day. I haven't missed a single Bombshell call since I started. Like I usually listen to the recording as well. Because I'm invested, my mindset is in the right place. I think these resources are there for me. If I want to be successful, I better be damn sure I'm using what's there. So if a coach comes to me and says, I'm struggling, I say, okay, well, are you doing the 3 vital behaviors? Do you have your business activity tracker? Like what are you actually doing it? Are you listening to the lessons on the National Wake Up Call, the Bombshell Call? Like literally that's top 10 coaches giving away all their tips and tricks to you. If you're not, then you're really cutting yourself short. And that's probably why you're not experiencing as much success as you could. So basically it comes down to the quote I've got at the bottom here. Whatever you believe, you're right. If you believe this business isn't working for you, you're right. It's not going to work for you. If you believe you have what it takes to be a top 10 coach, yeah, you probably will be a top 10 coach in a couple of years down the road. If you believe you are going to earn enough money to match your full-time income, so maybe you could even leave your full-time job, that's probably going to happen, because whatever you believe, you're not going to give up until you achieve that. So whether it takes you a year or whether it takes you 4 years, whatever you believe is right. Either way, no matter how long it takes you, you're right. So please don't take the mindset thing lightly. It's probably what's going to make or break you in this business. I'm not going to lie. I'm not like positive, happy-go-lucky, always inspirational type of person. I know I shared this with my diamonds actually on our call. One of our first calls, we were kind of sharing our goals and what we're working on. And my mindset is actually something I'm personally always working on, because I'm going to be open and honest with you right now. I am not a very naturally happy, out there sort of person. I'm very reserved. I'm very mono. I'm very get things done. And honestly, I really struggle to have fun and smile and just relax and laugh. And it's tough because it does affect my relationships, and it does affect, my happiness and what I do day to day. And I don't know why I'm like that, but I just am. So mental mindset is something I am forever grateful for Beachbody for, because they are the ones that introduced me to personal development and how much you can actually train your brain. I always thought, okay, I'm just how I am because that's the way I am. But you can train your brain. And I want you to believe that, as crazy as it sounds, you can train your brain. So make sure you're taking advantage of the opportunities you have to actually train your brain. So don't just think where you are in this business is where you're always going to be, because that's just who you are. And that's not true. You can literally remap your mindset to run this business however you want. So I am so grateful to be on such a positive team, and such, our team page is a nice, encouraging place to go to. And not all teams are like that. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've been Success Club partners with some other coaches that I actually had to stop being Success Club partners with because they were just killing my vibe. It's like, stop, what are you complaining about? You can't do any, you know what I mean? So I'm just so grateful that our team is so positive, and I want to thank you for that, and just keep it that way, because heck, there's nothing bad that comes out of this, really. You can get frustrated at some things, but that's life, right? So that's my blurb on training your mental mindset. And I am going to I just seen Leanne's post. I take a scoop of E&E, do my workout, then do all my posts. That's actually another totally good thing. I know a lot of coaches that do that. They make sure they work out first, and they feel like just that workout gets all those good endorphins going to do your messages afterwards too. So thank you for listening. Like I said, I still ramble a lot. I'm still getting used to these team calls. So I am going to stop this share, and Hillary's going to unmute herself, and she is going to take over for the rest of the call.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? You can? Okay, awesome. So I can't believe I'm even doing this. This is kind of weird for me. So thanks for this opportunity. I guess the two things that I'm speaking on today, and I guarantee it's going to go into a million other directions. So I'm going to try not to take up your whole evening. So what I'm talking about today is my road to Diamond, and then also how to recruit challengers and coaches. So I don't need to tell you guys how to go Diamond, because you objectively know how to get there, right? You know what the, minimal requirements are. So I don't need to go over that. I guess what I need to emphasize is that I am so grateful that my coaches that signed up under me chose me, because that's what got me Diamond. Yeah, I got myself Diamond by doing behaviors, right? But literally, my two Emeralds, they messaged me and they said, hey, can I coach? And I was like, yeah. It was crazy. I didn't message them first. And so Ariel, she messaged me on a Saturday. She went Emerald on a Monday. And I was like, is this real life? Does this happen? And then Chelsea, she messaged me and she wanted to get involved with Beachbody, and she went Emerald in less than a month, I think. So my coaches chose me. So I guess something that I was doing, that I was posting about, that I was about, whatever, something spoke to them, something resonated with them with what I was doing, and they chose me. Because really, even if we weren't coaches and had a million, Beachbody coaches as friends on Facebook, we would all have, maybe a handful at least, right? And the way I think about it is they chose me. So I must be doing something. And and it's funny because some people have been messaging me and they're like, what's your secret? You know, how do you do this? And I'm like, I'm just me. And I can't tell you how to do this because you got to do you, but you got to figure out who you are. And I don't mean to sound like arrogant or anything but I need to kind of fake it till I make it. And that's like another message I want to talk about. But I guess something I've learned in my line of work in counseling is you can't clarify for someone else unless you've clarified for yourself. So how am I going to teach someone how to, live a healthy life? How am I going to teach someone to be balanced, to do all these things? I need to clarify for myself what that means for me. So, I just will talk about the objective information. So when I first signed up, when I bought my challenge pack, I became a coach that same day because I wanted the discount. And I knew that Kirsten was making some money. And I was like, oh, okay, I could benefit from that. And I was actually telling her the other day that what drew me in was that she said her Beachbody income got her like a pedicure and a manicure and like a day out on the town. I was like, oh shit. Excuse me. I'm like, I want that, right? Like, cool. Why not? So, sorry, my friends know that I can be kind of vulgar, but you guys are all my friends. So I hope you can forgive me for that. So anyways, so her posting about her income is what drew me to it. So that's kind of cool. So I went Emerald, I think within like a month or something. I had 2 discount coaches and then one quit. So I went Emerald and then I took a step back and went down to a coach. And that was very disheartening, right? Because it's like, oh man, I'm never going to, succeed. What the heck? And I literally had one discount coach for I think like 2 or 3 months. And then I just kept going with it. Like Morgan was saying, when you decide what it's going to be for you, you just keep going until you get there. So after 2 months or 3 months, when I had one coach, looking back, I'm just like, how did I even do that? Like, I must have been pretty patient or like been, persevering, or I don't know. I had tunnel vision. So thank God for that. So anyways, my 2 Becky coaches, they both seen amazing results in the challenge group. In their first one, Becky Undershoot lost like 18 pounds in 21 days. And then Becky Gibbs lost like 15. So I'm like, okay, if anyone's going to coach, these girls are going to do it. And both of them will agree that I harassed them to sign up. But it's because I knew that they had what it took. So that's what it was. I knew that they had what it took and I believed in them. So, and they're both doing well. So, it is what it is. I kept bugging them. But I'm not telling you to bug everyone that, is on your team. So I got them. And actually, so what I did was after I got the 2 Beckys, I was like, okay, this can actually turn into something. So I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, I literally created Hillary's personally sponsored coaches page. There was 3 people in it, well, 4, including myself. I had my 1 discount coach and the 2 Beckys. And I literally talked to the 2 Beckys every day anyway. So it's like, this is kind of redundant that I have this group, right? It's like, maybe I should wait till I have 5 coaches or 6, whatever. But looking back in hindsight, I literally think that I created the environment for my team to grow. I created that environment because, like Morgan was saying, we can kind of like rely or depend on her to, to host all these things and to, for us to follow what she's doing. And that's excellent. But at some point if we want to go further, I think we need to kind of take things into our own hands, right? So that we can have control of our businesses, right? So I guess I kind of use the example, like, let's say if you want to grow a beautiful garden, okay? You go and you buy seeds or you buy flowers, okay? And you're not going to put that flower or those seeds on top of gravel and say, Kate, when that flower starts to grow and bloom, then I'll invest in some fertilizer and some soil, right? Like I invested in those things, in taking the extra time to do those things to create the environment for my team to grow. So yeah, it was kind of silly that there was 3 coaches plus me. There's 4 people and I talked to them all anyway. So like, why do we need a group? But I think that it's kind of like, I don't know if you want to think of it like the law of attraction or what, but I just created that opportunity for my team to grow. And in a way, I kind of, fake it till you make it. So I, kind of had this air about me, or the way I was thinking, like, hey, I'm a leader. I have something to offer. So if someone wants to see success, in their health, if someone wants to make extra cash, whatever, I can offer this to them. It's an opportunity. So I think that if we're kind of sheepish sometimes, like, do you think you want to coach? Like, it's a really great opportunity. I promise. Like, that's not confident, right? And we got to fake it till we make it, because inside we could be thinking that like, oh my gosh, I hope she signs up. But we need to be confident, because I think people can read that. If we're not confident in what we're doing, I mean, even the way I'm talking right now, like, I'm not 100% confident, but I'm acting like I am. So I hope that I'm portraying that, but I'm not, right? So I hope that I'm being, persuasive. So anyways, again, I'll say it. I just created the environment for my team to grow. I just took notes here. So let me just, because I knew I was going to ramble like I am now. Okay. How to recruit coaches and challengers. So we all know how to send kind of like the generic messages and build relationships and post and invite and, do all these great things, right? But I wanted to touch on how I post, because I think that's big. Now, maybe some of you are familiar with like the like Indigenous or Aboriginal like medicine wheel. It's all about balance, and we're holistic beings. I'm sure a lot of you have learned this through different ways. But essentially, we have 6 kind of components of who we are. We're social beings. We are emotional. We're mental, physical, volitional, and spiritual. So us as holistic beings, we have these 6 components of who we are. And for, I guess, the whole premise or the whole theory on this is for us to be working at our optimum performance, we need to be in balance. So when I'm posting, I'm not just posting a sweaty selfie. Okay. Well, first of all, no one wants to see me working out, and I don't want anyone to see me working out. I'll take a picture of like my shoulders or something after, and I'll do that once in a while. I'll take a picture of a meal like once a week or whatever, or if I'm really proud about something I did, or usually I just throw stuff together. So if I actually put in a few minutes, I'm like, hey, I need evidence of this. But I also talk about when I am feeling really grateful. Well, you guys have seen me. I've like posted pictures of me as a kid stuffing dirt in my face. Like I can laugh at myself. It's all about balance. So I want someone to know on any given day what I'm doing or kind of where I'm at, because I'm not working out 24 hours a day. I'm not eating 24 hours a day. That's why I got fat. But that's all who I'm not anymore, right? Like I'm not eating 24 hours a day. I'm not drinking my Shakeology 24 hours a day. You name it, right? So I guess when I post, I try to be in balance. So what did I post today? Oh, I posted like a comparison picture of like me before and then me now. And I just said, I am sad to look back and think how much time I wasted. And that makes me grateful for where I am now, because I'm not trying to attract people who are working out and who are healthy. They don't need me. They're already doing it. The people that go to the gym and that are in good shape and whatnot, I'm not necessarily going to attract them. I want to attract the people that it resonates with them. My message about what I'm saying about, hey, looking back, I'm sad at how much time I wasted and how many events I missed out because of my weight and where I was in my health. So for the people that can resonate with that, or that resonates with, that's going to attract them. And that's how people have messaged me. I hope that makes sense. Same thing with coaches. So you know how I talked about like I wanted to coach because I wanted like a manicure and a pedicure? Well, that's why I post my income. And like a lot of you make way more than I do, but that's not the point. The point is that for the person out there that would benefit from even, $100 a week or whatever the case is, that I am going to, that's going to appeal to them. So when I'm looking for challengers and when I'm looking for coaches, I try to touch on the whole person. And then that way, no matter what age you are, what your fitness level is, what your mindset is, what your background is, hopefully something that I say within, let's say, a week's time will fit for you. I hope that makes sense. What else do I want to say here? So talked about balance. Because we're not just one dimensional, right? We have so many different, dimensions to who we are. We have good days, we have bad days, we have days where we're proud of something and we want to share. We're having silly days, and I think that it's important for our friends on Facebook to see that we can be all these different things, because just because we're Beachbody coaches, we're not all in great shape. I mean, I'm not. I have a long ways to go, and that's okay. I'm in progress. I am not always eating the best. I am not always in a great mood. I'm not always, there's so many things, because people don't want to know how perfect we are, because we're not, but we don't want to even portray that, because no one can relate to that. And that's an intimidating thing if we're trying to portray that, right? What else can I talk about? Oh, one thing is that I, with my coaches, I refer to them as leaders because maybe that is a law of attraction thing, but they are leaders. They're leaders on my team because they all have something to offer. They're leaders amongst their friends, their family, their friends on Facebook. So when I talk, like, we're all coaches, right? But I refer to them as leaders because I know in their own way, just like everyone, we're leaders in our own way for how we do things. So again, I'm setting the environment, I'm setting the stage for them to be leaders by addressing them as leaders. So that's just a little tidbit. What else do I got written down here? So yeah, I just have my brand here that I have nothing, well, other than my dog who I like post about. I don't really have anything tangible that I would say that I post about, like in terms of my brand. I know Kirsten talked about that like at the last team call, I think. So I think that if I were to have to say like what my brand is, that it's just that I, can be vulnerable and kind of be silly, and I can be honest. And I guess the holistic kind of thing that I've been talking about. So I guess it'd be interesting to see, if you guys can reflect, okay, is there just like one kind of theme that I always post about, or is it, always in one direction, or what does it look like? Because I'm not perfect. And like I said, I'm not trying to sound that way, but that's just the way, it's all in perspective, right? And how you think and whatnot, like Morgan was talking about. So, that's how that goes. And also I'm really aware that my job as my coach's coach, like as a leader, is that I need to provide opportunities for them to grow, because I kind of drew like a little like spectrum here on my page. But basically when we start coaching, it's like we kind of have tunnel vision in a way, right? Like we're like, hey, commission, like in terms of the business sides of things, it's like, hey, commission, I want to sell challenge packs, I want to get Success Club. And that's totally true. But then when we become Emerald, all of a sudden we don't just have one hat on. We're not just a coach selling stuff, right? It's not selling stuff. You guys know what I mean. But when we turn Emerald, it's like, okay, so I have the one hat on that I'm, recruiting challengers. But my other hat is that I need to provide the environment for my coaches to grow so that they can be, successful in this business. And so the further along, I guess, you get in, I don't know, rank or, whatever, the more you have to be able to balance those tasks. Because, I can't say for sure, but Dollars to Donuts, Lindsay Matway's main concern isn't making $50 off a challenge pack anymore, right? Like that's not her focus. And that's okay, because that's where she is now. She probably wants to hit Success Club like we all do, but I can't see her main focus being selling, a 21-day fixed challenge pack for $50, right? That's not her focus, I'm assuming, right? So I think that kind of the more that we grow, the more that we have to be able to balance that part of the business with training our coaches, with providing an environment for them to grow, still recruiting challengers, still recruiting coaches, giving our coaches the tools to build their businesses, etc. So I hope that makes sense. It's just kind of like, the way I see things. I'm a visual person, so that's why I have to draw diagrams and whatnot. And I think that's it. So did I take up enough time? I don't know. Does anyone have any questions or anything? I hope I didn't miss anything.
Feel free to just unmute yourself or type if you've got questions for Hill.
So I just wanted to give an example. So, when I was talking about not becoming like dependent on, your upline coach essentially, and being able to kind of take it into your own hands and have, okay, I don't know. Okay. Kirsten and I, for example, we're hosting a sneak peek starting next Monday. So we're going to start advertising this Monday and let our coaches. So we could have essentially just waited for Morgan's next sneak peek, but I was like, hey, why wouldn't we? Like, what's stopping us from taking over? And she's like, yeah, great idea. So that's what we're doing. So I think that's a good message for, the coaches that are signed up under us, that we don't have to rely on someone else. And that's not a bad thing, because I still will put people in your training, Morgan, and I'm sure I will still put people in your sneak peeks, but I'm creating the environment for myself to grow, and then also my team. And I want my coaches to have faith in me and to have confidence, because I'm absolutely honored that they chose to be on my team, because they could have been on anyone's team that they have on Facebook, because chances are they have at least 5 5 different coaches that they could have approached, but something that I was doing spoke to them. So, you know, I'm honored, and that's why I am doing what I can so that they can, you know, succeed. Do I click on this to read this?
Yeah, just click on the chat. You've got a couple questions there.
Do I start from the bottom?
Yeah, there's one from Becky and one from Leanne right at the bottom.
Okay, Leanne, do you have any advice for non-responsive coaches or leaders that don't respond to anything in regards to training? Any advice, like for them being being a coach under you, advice, like for you to light the fire under their butts? Yes. I think you can appreciate my my language. I guess essentially, I know that we cannot work harder than them, because obviously when our coaches succeed, there's a payoff for us. So there's, you know, no any two ways about that. But we have to give them the tools for them to be excited to do things, because if we are, you know, saying, hey, did you sign your coaches up for this? Did you do this? Did you sell any challenge packs? Come on, girl, keep going. We're going to burn ourselves out, because we can't create that dependency. So it will happen where coaches aren't super motivated, and that's not for you to own. Like Morgan was saying, that's not in your control. I know, because I've been there too. I want more than anything for my coaches to succeed, but there's a certain point where I have to say, okay, what is my responsibility and what is theirs? And so, you know, for example, I'm diamond right now. That doesn't mean that tomorrow I won't, that I still will be, or whatever, right? Like, so I hope that my coaches have that internal motivation where I don't need to, you know, motivate them to be responsive. Does that answer your question, or am I just like kind of going on about nothing? Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Leanne. From Becky. Okay, the 6 holistic aspects: emotional, mental, physical, volitional. And volitional is basically your decision making and the choices you make. Spiritual, and social. So I guess if you guys are up for a challenge, maybe if you're planning your posts or whatever, you could, you know, do it in a purposeful way to say, okay, this is the post I'm making. What does this touch on? Okay. So for example, the one I made today about the 2 comparisons, that was emotional, because I said, I feel sad because of this. It could have been, obviously it was physical, because, you know, there was the picture of my body. And yeah, and I guess there was some volitional in there because I chose to make changes. So okay. Any other questions?
I was going to say, on your last topic, when you're talking about coaches and someone not being responsive or not wanting it, you know, as bad as you want it for them. Mm-hmm. I always tell myself, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So give them every tool, every resource, every high five, every hug, every shoulder to cry on. Give them everything they need, but then the rest is up to them. You know, you have to give them what they need. That's your responsibility as a coach, but do not feel like you failed if they don't want it as bad as you do. That's on them. That's not on you.
Absolutely. And if you are working harder than your coaches, then you got to evaluate what's going on here, because you're not working to build their business, you're working to build yours. So absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. This is fun. I like when everyone's unmuted, we can just chat.
So what did everyone have for dinner?
Yeah, don't even ask me that.
Today was my last day of Extreme, so I'm not gonna lie, I may go for yogurt after this.
Be sure to get Reese's peanut butter cups on top.
I may have snuck in a few of those during the fix, but those don't fit into a container, so they don't count.
Hey, you don't have any challengers in here, so that's fine.
I have a question. Sorry to bring it back to business. I have never posted actually about my income, and I know Hill, you were talking about Kirsten's post about just the manicure and pedicure and such. Has anyone had like big success more so by just saying how much that they actually make, or is there more success in saying like, oh, because of Beachbody, I have been able to purchase this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've done both. Like, I did a post like maybe a month and a half ago or something where I got like an Aritzia order in, and I was like, "Thanks, Beachbody." I was like holding up my loot, and then I linked it to, "Hey, I needed new clothes because I lost weight." But then so then I've also given numbers, and then I've had people message me because of both. So, and actually, one thing I wanted to touch on is that, and Morgan, you did a bit too when you said that you have like a strategy. And I think I was talking to a few people, a few coaches that privately messaged me. I have a strategy for posting, so I'm glad that this came up. My strategy is that I will, for like a day or two, I will fill everyone's news feed with my body transformation, and then I'll be like, "Oh, last call," right? So it's fresh in their minds. Or I'll be like, "Oh, hey, here's my income, here's my loot from Aritzia, sneak peek," right? So it's kind of like in a strategy because I want it to be like fresh in their minds so that they don't forget about it. So anyways, that's just like a little tidbit about that. So we can be kind of strategic in that too, how we post. And yeah, anyways, thanks for that, Taryn.
I think it's good to touch on both for sure, because it'll resonate. Like you said, Hillary, you want to hit every element of that spectrum. So maybe the numbers will resonate with someone, and maybe the like a tangible item might resonate with someone else. So like I put that I matched my dental hygiene income, and I had a few people message me. But then I had a post about, like Hillary said, about like I went for a manicure with my mother-in-law, and I got to do those things. So I think you have to just touch on everything. You might not want to do it every day or every week necessarily, but I think it's good to do both, to not just be one dimensional that way, because someone might not care if you made $500 this week, but someone might care that, like, what, you paid for like new countertops? That's sweet. Like, that's exciting. I need new countertops. So
yeah, absolutely. And honestly, that's what attracted me to coaching, was like seeing how much money everyone was making, like, to be honest. Because you know what, it's kind of funny, not to be like glass half empty, but when people are like, "I would do this for free," I'm like, I wouldn't. Like, I put in like 6 hours a day. And actually, when I signed up 12 coaches in February, people are like, "How did you do it?" And I'm like, I think I was in a blackout for that whole month. Like, I don't remember anything because I was literally beachbodying at work. Like, don't tell anyone that, because that's like stealing time. But I was beachbodying in the morning for like an hour. I was beachbodying at work, like out of a 9-hour day. I was probably beachbodying for 5 hours if I could. And then in the evening, and like, yeah. So you know what? If you're not going to sign 12 coaches, that's okay, because your life is probably in balance. So anyways, that's just kind of something funny that I wanted to share. And I don't have a personal life either. Like, I have a dog, and that's basically it. So for those of you with boyfriends and whatnot, like, that's awesome, but that's not me.
You're going to have to get rid of those boyfriends. They're just getting in the way. In the way.
Deleting Tinder. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, any other question? Oh. Sorry, I'm just reading. Yeah.
Okay. No other questions for Hill? Awesome.
If anyone has like a brother, like, okay, so I'm 25, so between the ages of like 27 and 32, like, I'm good. And I live in Yorkton. So, within like a 3-hour like parameter, I'm good. Okay. Just tossing it out there.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Thank you. Literally, I have like a whole page of notes written down, Hill. That was absolutely unreal. And it actually, like, our topics related a lot more than I thought they would. And the balance thing, like, I totally can see myself wanting to go back into my social media and like looking what areas I'm avoiding and which ones I really hit. Cause you're right. You kind of get tunnel vision and then all of a sudden you look at your feed, you're like, oh my gosh, people must be so annoyed with me. Like I need to touch on some other areas. So that was awesome. Unreal. I've got this recorded and I honestly might re-listen to your section while I get ready tomorrow. But I guess the main thing I would say that brought like my topic and your topic together is that like Hillary said, and I said with your mental mindset, kind of fake it till you make it. But if you put it in different words, be damn proud of what you're doing. It is, I know it's, you know, it's different. People don't really get it. They think it's a pyramid scheme. They think you're selling things. Like there's all these different things that are coming at you because it's the unknown. People just don't know, don't understand what you're doing. So you're trying to deal with all this. But if I could just tell you one thing, like hold strong to how confident you feel in what you're doing. Because as soon as you rein in that confidence and portray it in your conversations, in your posts, in your Zoom calls, if you just put on that confident act, I promise you, your business is going to flourish. That is the biggest transition I would say I hit. I didn't hit it probably till about the 1 year mark. I was one of those people that really struggled in my conversations because I didn't have the confidence coming. I was like, oh, I don't know if they'll want to sign up for a challenge pack. It's expensive. Or I don't know if they'll want to be a coach because I don't know. As soon as I went into my conversations, I was like, I am going to help this person, whether it be with a challenge pack or whether it be with recommending a book. Or like Hillary said, I am going to help this person become a coach because I know they'd be damn good at it. And I know this could change their life. As soon as I went in with that confidence, it was a game changer. And you don't have to be 100% confident, like Hillary said, talking on this call. You don't have to be, but if you can just practice, and it'll get easier and easier, and you will start to believe that confidence in yourself. But it takes a lot of practice. So hold strong and just believe in what you're doing, because really, like, look at what you're doing. You're doing nothing bad, nothing ever to be ashamed of. What you're doing is something to be very, very, very proud of. And not many people, can feel that way about what they're doing every day. So as soon as you rein that in, and it takes time, it takes practice, it takes personal development, I know your business will flourish. Mm-hmm. Did you have any last comments, Hill?
I guess I just have here, just act like a boss. You're the boss of your life, you're the boss of your business, and act like it. And I think that will draw people to you because you will have that confidence that you have something that will benefit them, whether it's a challenge pack or signing up to coach. And you are proof that this business can change lives, whether it's physically, financially, you name it. Confidence. We've all improved in all of these different ways I touched on, like, the whole person model from coaching. We've all improved physically. We've all improved mentally, right? Like you were talking about, Morgan, the personal development, everything, even just, the support we give each other, emotionally, like everything. So we have a gift to give people, and if they don't want it, that's okay. The next person will, and it will change their life. Mm-hmm. And so if we can have that confidence, we're not going to be sheepish or scared or shy. And we're going to message, say, hey, I have a challenge group. I've lost 28 pounds. Is this something that would interest you? Because I know that you've been following my journey and I really appreciate your support. Just be confident, be a boss, because you are a boss. You are. You just got to believe it and you got to act like it. And that's it.
My gosh, I need to quote how many of these things that you've said. That is my new mantra. You are the boss. And that's so true. It is your life. You are the boss. I love that. Hashtag, you are the boss. I was going to say something else, but you are the boss totally took over all my thoughts.
It trumped you.
It trumped all of that. This was so awesome. Thank you again, everybody, for coming. It's going to be recorded. I'll post it. Thank you so much, Hill. And just, go out there, train your brain, be confident in what you're doing, and be the boss, because this is your life. So everybody have a fantastic night. And I may go get some froyo and then start my second round of the 21 Day Fix Extreme.
Okay, good night, everyone.
You guys.